They didn't see her. Not really. A quiet woman in her mid-40s, wearing a navy blue skirt suit faded slightly from wear. Her name tag from Eve's Cleaning Services still pinned to her lapel. A mother, a CO, a storm in heels, though the world only saw drizzle. She stood at the teller's window with the kind of composure only pain can polish. In her hand, a cashier's check for $175,000. Payment from a client she cleaned for, negotiated with, fought for. Years of grit, sweat, and silence now printed in black ink on a pale slip of paper. But the teller didn't glance at the check. She glanced at her. "Ma'am," the teller said sharply, not lifting her eyes from her red manicure. "This kind of check has to be verified. It's policy." The bank lobby was quiet. Cold. The kind of silence that tells a woman like her she's overstayed her welcome. The woman, Leticia Hughes, nodded. "That's fine." But it wasn't. The teller called over a manager. He came with cologne, condescension, and a frown that arrived before his voice. "What's the problem here?" "She says she's trying to deposit this," the teller said, holding the check between two fingers like it was contaminated. He glanced at it, then back at Leticia. "You're the owner of his company?" he said slowly, emphasizing the word owner like it was a joke he hadn't let himself laugh at yet. Leticia didn't blink. "I am." The manager chuckled, dry and mean. "This is a corporate check. We need to confirm legitimacy. You'll need to wait or come back later." Leticia nodded. "I'll wait." The manager walked off. The teller rolled her eyes. Then, in one breathtaking motion that would burn itself into memory, she tore the check in half. "Just like that." Leticia's heart stopped. Her fingers trembled. "Why would you do that?" "We don't accept fraud here," the teller said flatly. "Try somewhere else." Leticia didn't scream. She didn't plead. She just gathered the pieces of her check, years of her life, shredded, and walked out. But the story wasn't over. Because the bank's lobby had 15 security cameras, 3 clients watching, and one small screen mounted near the ATM, looping silent promotional videos every 30 seconds. And just as Leticia stepped outside, something flickered on that screen. A smiling young man in a navy blue suit, steel eyes, clean fade, charisma that leaked through every pixel. "Meet Jordan Hughes," the caption read. "Tech innovator, community builder, our youngest corporate partner. Her son, the same bank's rising star." He had no idea what had just happened inside. But the moment she got into her car, she texted him a single line. "They tore up my check. Said I looked like fraud." Silence. Then, which branch? 40 minutes later, the air changed. Not outside, but inside that bank. The teller turned at the sudden hush behind her. People were standing. Even the manager was adjusting his tie like oxygen had grown expensive. And in walked Jordan Hughes. No suit this time, just confidence in sneakers and a black turtleneck. He moved like he owned the place because, in many ways, he did. The manager stumbled forward. "Mr. Hughes, sir, we weren't expecting you today." Jordan didn't answer. He walked to the teller window, glanced at her name tag, and calmly said, "You shredded my mother's check." The blood drained from her face. "I didn't know." "Exactly," he cut in. "You didn't know. You didn't ask." He turned to the manager. "You know how many accounts our tech company runs through this bank?" The manager nodded, sweating. "Yes, sir. Quite a few." Jordan raised his hand. "And you know how easy it is for us to switch banks, right?" No one breathed. He looked back at the teller. "You judged a woman who built a company from the ground up while raising a child alone. A woman who walked through storms so I could sit at tables like this. And you tore up her worth because you didn't recognize her face." Then he pulled out his phone, tapped the screen. The ATM monitor behind him changed instantly to a photo of Leticia Hughes, standing proudly in front of her fleet of cleaning vans. "She is the CEO," Jordan said. "And starting today, she's the face of our new community grant initiative, powered by this bank." The manager blinked. "Of course. Yes, absolutely. We're pulling our accounts," Jordan said, pocketing the phone, and making sure every client we work with knows why. The teller gasped. Please, I mean... But Jordan was already walking toward the exit. Just before the doors opened, he stopped, turned. Next time someone walks in and hands you greatness in a form you weren't expecting, don't tear it up. You might be shredding your own reputation. Leticia stood outside, waiting. Jordan walked straight to her, handed her a new check. No one tears this one up, he said quietly. Not unless they're ready to watch everything burn. She nodded, her eyes glassy but proud. And as they walked the car, a hush fell over the bank lobby, followed by whispers that would ripple through corporate halls, community forums, and social feeds by morning. Justice hadn't just been served. It had been announced. But the story doesn't end there. Because later that night, Jordan got a call. A blocked number. A voice that didn't give a name. You think pulling your money makes you powerful? The voice said, low and cold. You're playing a bigger game than you realize. And your mother's face isn't the only one we're watching. Jordan stared at the phone, pulse rising, because he knew that voice. And it wasn't just a threat. It was a warning. If that story hit you, if you've ever been underestimated, overlooked, or mistreated, drop a comment below. Let the world know your worth can't be measured by someone else's assumptions.